It says it's on mute.
Well, okay. What movie did I reference a minute ago?
Willow? Skulls?
Skulls. Neither one of you dudes has ever seen Skulls.
I don't think so.
What the hell? Okay, well, it's got Paul Walker in it. Rest in peace. Posthumous Jiu-Jitsu black belt. And also Jeremy Jackson, that dude from Dawson's River. Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's super fucking good. It's also got William Peterson in it. And the guy that plays Shooter McGavin. Yeah. So we're Cobra casting. So we've been watching Cobra Kai. We're rewatching the 4th episode right now, and it's the greatest show that I've ever seen in my whole life.
The dude with the mustache looks like he's 35.
So this kid's name is Robbie, correct? So Robbie. So Johnny. So Johnny from Cobra Kai, Karate Kid, the original movie, is 51 years old. He has a son, and that son is Robbie, who we're watching the very beginning of episode 4. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, first 2 episodes are free on YouTube. Then you get 10 episodes on YouTube Red.
Yeah, 10 total.
So everybody should just go ahead and sign up for that membership because it's that good. Man, YouTube really did just hit it home on this, right?
Who passed this up?
Yeah, like somebody didn't buy this, and I would
Like
suspect.
Like
But you know, actually, I read that the actor, I forget what his name is, the actor that plays Gianni, apparently went to film school and has been making films and learning how to do screenplays and all sorts of shit ever since he was on the original Karate Kid.
Yeah, I don't know if it's his role that he's playing or if he's just a particularly good actor, but he's, in my opinion, the best actor.
I think he and Ralph Macchio co-produced this. I know that he produced it.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio portrays Daniel as a version of himself later in life.
Dude, it's crazy how many parallels that they did. So like Miguel, the student of Johnny, how many parallels there is with that kid and Daniel LaRusso in the original Karate Kid. Single parent household, kind of got bullied. They paralleled in episode 3. There's a school dance. They paralleled that whole thing. So it's really like just a retelling of the original story across its 10 episodes, but it's really brings it up to date.
Yeah, there are a lot of parallels. For instance, the high school is racially diverse but not cliquish, and it's also financially diverse. And there is some cliquishness, but it's observed by both sides.
Yeah, well, you know, if you're Brendan Schwab and you say that, you'll get in trouble.
Good night.
Did you hear about him on UFC Tonight? He's like, hey, yeah, you got enough black dudes up there or something like that.
Get it. Fox doesn't hate black people.
Because there was Daniel Cormier, Tyron Woodley, Mighty Mouse, and maybe Rashad. Eve Edwards, okay, yeah. Which I've seen Rashad do some of the broadcasting and stuff before. But the thing is 3 of those people are champs. And Eve Edwards is kind of like Rashad, but I guess Rashad's still fighting?
Yeah, he's got a fight coming up back at 205 with somebody. I can't remember who. It's a nobody, though. It's probably somebody on their way up. Let me look into that.
Yeah, definitely. We got to catch up on the MMA. We Lomachenko podcasted last night, and so we got the Cobra cast, and we just need to do the UFC 224 / Bellator 199 cast. I'm doing we're going to listen to the whole of Perfect Circle album on the podcast Friday.
That would be a super fun podcast to talk about your actual experience as you're going through the whole thing, how it makes you feel, and yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard Marshmallow yet?
On Eat the Elephant?
Nope, his name is Marshmallow. He's a DJ.
No, I haven't.
I've heard of Marshmallow.
Yeah, he just does a lot of uplifting tune stuff, and it's frivolous, mostly kids stuff, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Totally relevant to this.
Man, so here's a parallel. So we'll just say that without spoiling anything, Miguel got the shit kicked out of him. And then like Gianni is his sensei and has to like carry him back to the door, just like Mr. Miyagi had to do with Daniel in the first Karate Kid movie.
Anthony Smith is who Rashad Evans is fighting. I don't know that dude. 205 pounds.
Yeah, why didn't he just go back for a rematch with Sean Salmon or something? Jeez.
Sean Salmon. I'm pretty sure that dude's. No, that dude isn't dead. That's Josh Salmon. He's dead.
I want to say somebody shared today. Corey Hill died 3 years ago today or something. Remember that dude that broke his leg in the OC? First dude to kind of Anderson Silva his leg.
Yeah. He actually just came back and fought like a few years ago on a local scene.
Yeah, and I want.
It's probably longer than that.
I don't know how he died exactly, but crazy. Yeah, I will say that Johnny's character is the best character of the whole. So would you say, I mean, I agree that this show is told from Johnny's point of view.
That dude right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely the best one in the show.
You see a lot more of the school and family side of you and the business a little bit on Daniel's side. As far as true to life stuff, you see true to life stuff out of Gianni, and then the school, what you see at the social.
Dude,
windows.
all the bullying they play on, like I thought they did a really good job with like bringing in the social aspects of, like, because they bring in cyberbullying like crazy, like with Snapchat and with Facebook. Our friend William over here just got a Facebook. Everyone should add him. Just kidding. They don't know your real name, Bill.
They do get into real social topics, though.
Yeah, they do. They like, oh yeah, this is the one you're saying. This is the one where they go all R-rated with shit, right? Or did we miss that?
No, I think it's episode 4. Yeah, there you go. There's someone making a given head motion, typical head-to-hand type stuff.
Was that you, Bill?
Dude, it can't be me. My phone's on
maybe
vibrate.
Maybe that was on the show. I think it was. Yeah, because their dad's texting me. It was
phone-
on the
that's
show.
funny. 3 missed calls. Someone's blowing her up, dude. Oh, yeah. Yeah, LaRusso, you really get to see his emotional side. You get to see how he's vulnerable.
Well, he was that.
He's
way,
searching for someone to do karate with him.
I've been watching, like, I guess it just comes on, like, on autoplay on YouTube, but, like, I'll, like, flip the TV on, and, like, this, like, the way my Roku works, stuff will just be playing even though the TV's off. It's kind of creepy. But I'll turn the TV on, and it'll be, like, on, like, some, like, Karate Kid from, like, 2000 when Ralph Macchio and the other dude are sitting down talking about everything, or Kreese, but I saw all these like reviews and stuff over the second and third film, and I watched the first and second film since I watched the Cobra Kai show, and Daniel's character is totally different in the second and third movie than it is in the first. He's more like eccentric.
You do kind of see how he mentions it in this series too. He's a hothead, dude. He tends to do things that are like all or nothing and act off the cuff. Kind of.
Well, he did win the All Valley tournament by an
Yeah.
illegal kick.
To the face.
What do you think about that, Bill? They joke about that in interviews too. That's like yeah, look at these dudes all freaking.
Oh yeah, you just got a shot of straight spread leg, vagina, barely covered by panties, bro. And an extended shirt.
Look at
on
that
a stolen
tapestry.
computer.
Boombox. Funny. What this is episode 4 we're watching?
Cobra Kai never died.
Yeah, Cobra Kai Never Dies, name of the episode.
That boombox reference was Johnny being ignorant, and there is a lot of that. He's ignorant of advertising.
He's behind in the times for sure, dude. For sure.
Yeah. But he's comfortable with it. He's very comfortable with himself. And when you see certain confrontations and things that he could actually play out totally differently, he really does exercise more control than what you would have seen in other situations. He's completely dragged into this situation. Like you said, he's dragging his student, his neighbor.
Well, yeah, and he gets attacked in the first episode.
Yeah.
You know the greatest thing I think about all this that like really sucked me into it is that all the episodes are at 30 minutes.
It's like a normal TV
Yeah,
show.
we've watched this is like our 4th episode we watched since like in the last like couple hours or something.
They did that so they could have more episodes.
And too, I mean, really, like most shows that you're gonna binge watch are like 43 minutes.
If it's like HBO style.
Yeah, well, like let's just say Breaking Bad's like 43, 55, something like
they were
that.
only like 30 minutes long.
48 minutes. No, Breaking Bad's typically 48 minutes, I
Never
think.
seen
Let's
it.
say 48. But like, dude, I think like one of these episodes is like 22 minutes long. You know,
Yeah,
like
but no commercials too.
yeah, but like if you look at it too in retrospect, so let's say the whole 10 episodes is 6 hours, give or take.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually more time to tell a story than all 3 of the original Karate Kid movies combined.
I forgot there's a third one.
Oh, it's good, dude.
I've seen them all. I always
No,
forget
there's
the third one.
4, dude.
Yeah, we don't talk about
We
that
don't
Hillary
talk.
Swank one, bro, just because Pat Morita was in it.
Swank.
Dude, plus I
Why?
don't even like her name. Like, that's what really
Why?
gets me about it. It's like, what kind of
The
name?
fourth one was Hillary
It's
Swank?
too close to skank.
It does sound like a
Swank.
made-up name.
It's
bro.
always
It's
bothered
half
me.
swagger, half
Her
skank,
name has
dude.
always bothered me. Just like Miesha Tate's nose has always bothered me.
She's a down-home girl.
Yes.
It used to not be that bad. She just got punched in the face a lot.
Dude, that's like this person arguing about the Raquel Pennington corner thing. It's like, dude, if you've never been in a coach and cornered 100 fights, it's hard for you to say things like that. Like, it's hard for a non-coach to say things
Not
like
a good
that.
one.
And it's hard for people that don't know anything about brain
Selfish.
damage or CTE or people that have not been hit. I mean, dude,
I know nothing about that, and I'm not a coach, but I would never force somebody to fight.
I've
if they
been
didn't
I've been
want
hit in
to.
the head a lot over the last 11 years, a lot. And like I sparred on Saturday, and I had a headache all day. And like that was, I like guarantee
When we
you,
went to Primus, that you had a headache then?
yeah, from getting hit in the jaw. Because like, and then too, so it's like that's like you feel the effects more when it happens for longer, and then also CTE is a degenerative disease, so it's like it gets worse in 10 years. It's not like you like, oh, you got hit in the head and you're gonna feel all the effects now. You're gonna get all the symptoms, side effects now. No, it's like
Slowly.
a slow trickle.
There are a lot of studies that show craniosacral therapy and basically movement therapy, meditation, just things that naturally expand your face. Actually, there's a lot of philosophy people have noted in studies that when you go through therapy, you can watch your face change. It's a measurable thing for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
As long as you're trying to. Bro, I think it has to do with posture too. The way your head sits, your occipital bone.
Yeah,
Shen
for
shines
sure.
through your cheekbones. It's called the Shen is the body's natural beauty and presentation, and I want to say it's housed in the liver, or in kidneys. It comes out of one of them, and it shines through your cheekbones, bro.
wild.
Yeah.
You know, I had a guest on the podcast, Eli Craner, and he's like a former football coach and quarterback himself, played in college and like I think arena football after that, or like some sort of like pro, like post college semi pro level league. and he's a writer and has done all this writing about CTE and did a reading of a poem on the podcast.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, dude, you remember that?
Yeah.
That was super good. That was just a short but sweet podcast too, like an hour long.
He's an interesting cat, man.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Sandy was pretty good too.
Dude, Uncle Jerry, bro. He was. I would love to have him back on. I love talking to that dude.
Yeah. So, the CTE thing, man, you do see some pretty brutal shots, and you do see some pretty serious like competition and scraps, man, in this series.
Yeah, no. Well, and that's the thing. Like we're talking about point sparring earlier before the podcast, and it's like I don't really understand. I've had people tell me the whys, and I should just ask Danny Drain because he would know. But there's something to do about why traditional martial artists don't like why in point sparring they don't hit in the face with the fist, like straight to the face. I don't know, like something to do with respect or like not breaking your
you
like.
only get one face, dog. I
Well,
mean, maybe not nowadays, but
not breaking your knuckles on like basically bone on bone. Not trying to go bone on bone, but just like the whole like not kicking with the shin.
a lot of places wear pads, bro. You know, there are tolerant places that have they'll draw it down to whatever level of competition is willing to come and compete there.
Well, it's wild to me too that so
we were talking about how point sparring judging is the most subjective sparring there is in sports. Like for instance, in the end, the tournament that you see in this series, one of the points is scored by a character that wins a fight like 5 seconds after he catches a clean straight kick to the chest. And I mean, the kid who ends up getting the point scored on him made distance, you know, with that kick, created space. It was clean to the chest. So, you know, if you only can't kick in the face, a straight kick, you know, why isn't that a point? Why didn't he win that competition? And I see that all the time.
And I guess like if you show up at a tournament to compete in a traditional martial arts tournament or whatever, like I can get it. But I still like I see like so many, and I ran our gym this way for a little bit, a couple of years I would say. But like when I was competing in tons of IBJJF jiu-jitsu tournaments, it was like we didn't do any leg locks because they were illegal for like you can't ever do a heel hook in black belt division or anything. No gi, it doesn't matter. IBJJF's no heel hooks ever. So you start not training heel hooks at all if you are laboring under their rule set, trying to compete in their tournaments. And I guess the same thing happens with like a lot of karate dojos and maybe even Taekwondo dojos because there's no leg kicks. They'd stop training them.
When you say there's no leg kicks, do you mean you can't throw them or they just don't score points? Like, can you use them to set up other things?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you can kick below the waist at all.
Oh, man, I do see a lot of people that just stand with a side leg kick pose and just keep leaned back, you know? And
Yeah.
it makes it hard to hit your torso or upper body because you're leaned way back out of the way. You have two
Yeah.
hands free.
Yeah, no, that's that sort of Stephen Wonderboy Thompson kind of style of fighting, Lyoto Machida.
Conor McGregor.
Kind of. You know, Bryce has even opened up that way in a couple of fights. Came out southpaw and thrown like a lead leg side kick. I remember the first fight that he did, I was like, what was that?
Wheel kick, was that against Isaac Ware, the V3 fight?
I think it was, yeah.
That was a judo toss, bro. It was wild. That Tayo Tosh, bro, I believe is what that one is called.
Yeah.
Another reference to my homie Ty and their band. Those fun times.
Dude, I just did a little video for our YouTube on Tayo Tosh. It's, oh shit. Daniel just kicked some freaking tapioca drink out of somebody's hand, dude.
You know, this is alignment right here. You see, like, Bryce did a little flash at the show, and it was the same as what you see Daniel do. And it was like, I think they both could have probably done better if they would have just been like, I'm going to do some badass shit. They could have done anything they wanted to. Daniel wasn't trying to show out, though. I know Bryce wasn't. He's cool.
Dude.
You want to know something else that worked out? One of my friends, the mutual friend that showed up at the fights, like, seriously, bro, he ended up being seen by Bryce and called up there to be a participant in that little, like, shout out to the local boys at the fight, bro.
Who's that?
His name is Logan Bell. He's currently a weightlifter right now. He's like a fitness competitor. It'll be his 4th show, I believe.
See, yeah, they touch on a little sexual harassment right here, a little sexual assault, abuse, whatever you want to say. I mean, dude, that is crazy. Like, you don't really think about stuff like that when you're that age. Like, I'm going to tell you, when I was like 16 years old, I was not thinking about any consequences. Not saying I was like going around raping people, but
you were
like
going around raping people.
no, but I mean, just
Serial
like
rapist.
you know, I mean,
You definitely get to see the broad spectrum of social behavior, not especially in one brother-sister combination in this thing, man. The brother's a troll. Even his dad is like, oh, he's not here? Yeah.
yeah, it is. I just say it's probably wild. Thinking in retrospect how like teenage boys are operating out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like just like a freaking impulsive, raging ball of hormones.
Yeah, you definitely see also the adult interpretation, like taking being kids way too far, you know.
Yeah.
You see both sides. You see something in this that, if you don't mind, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's pretty damn random. You see a little genital mutilation. And when I say genital mutilation, I'm talking about
Like a Maridote, like Taekwondo.
yeah, like someone goes super ridiculous and every kid is like, yeah. And it's, you know, it's not brought up much, but then later a joke is made about it and it makes the person who did it feel a little more accepted, you know. And I'm like, bro, it's like your face, you know, you only get one set of genitals out there, folks. Kids, consequences, reality.
Yeah. And I mean, is it super hard to rupture a testicle? Because I feel like it's not.
Yeah.
I know a dude has died from his testicles being like smashed. It killed him.
Dude,
The shock of
Dude,
it killed him like a
my
heart attack.
coach is kicked more than one cup in half.
Yikes.
Like throwing a groin kick on accident or on purpose. Because, dude, apparently groin kicks used to be legal in point sparring back in the day. Like back in the 80s and stuff. I wonder if we watch First Karate Kid again, if we would see. We should just watch the All Valley tournament.
Yeah, there was.
It's at the
1984.
beginning of the.
Yeah, it just shows. Man, that's one thing about this show that we gotta say is like the flashback montages are fucking great, dude. And then the 80s music. Someday.
Even Rocky had a montage.
Yeah, the soundtrack to this thing is unreal. It covers some weird, like, creative, I don't know, it's like trance, almost depressing, melancholy stuff, but mostly you hear a lot of 80s metal, and it's good.
Yeah, remember when he's talking shit to Miguel and he's like, why don't you put some Guns N' Roses on that? And he's like, who's Guns N' Roses? And he's like, oh.
Dude, and then he comes out with Rat, who's maybe like one of the more underrated bands, I feel. They're pretty bomb to just listen to and jam out to.
Bow to your sensei.
Bellier's would say.
My favorite episode on this is episode 6. It's called Slither. And,
That's what a bullshit saying. The best defense is more offense.
yeah,
Leave your
exactly.
chin out.
Like, that is
Swing
the
crazy.
episode where you get to see Gianni go out and become a freaking... he just becomes a master sensei, cut down, like, master, bro. He just super shrewd, starts breaking people down. Yeah, so right now what we're watching is Daniel LaRusso cruising to work. And,
He's a car salesman.
yeah, he's a car salesman.
He's super successful, has his own dealership.
Yep. and he sees his competitor's billboard and flips it a fat bird, dude.
51-year-old Ralph Macchio from my cousin Vinny. Looks like his time in jail is starting to come out here. You guys ever seen that movie?
Oh, yeah. It's been a long time, but definitely.
Okay, I got another one for you. You guys ever seen the film version of The Outsiders?
I've never even seen The Outsiders. What is The Outsiders?
Like the book, The Outsiders.
Nothing, bro.
Dudes, soda pop.
That does not ring any kind
Pony
of bell.
boy. Stay golden, pony boy.
Okay, yeah, no. I know that saying.
Four Brothers either.
I know the saying, "Stay golden, pony boy," but I don't.
How did you get through school and not watch Outsiders, dude?
Bro, I got through school without reading a book since like 4th grade.
I did for some reason. I got those accelerated reader points in 8th grade. I don't think I ever read a fucking book.
I never did.
You could have made it all the way through NCAA programs like that, dog.
Yeah, as long as you played really good sports.
See, so here, episode 4 is over. We're going at episode 5 right now.
Yeah.
Just like, bam.
I guess I've seen more than episodes.
Yeah, dude, I think you're on like episode 7.
At least, probably. Because I know I've seen
He's going to
this
stay
one.
over all night. Let's watch it all, man.
Bro,
I'll go do morning jiu-jitsu. I'll come back. I'll take a nap.
I can make it till about midnight, and then I'm deucing. I'm about to be passing out you style.
Yeah, well, bro, I've been real busy lately.
Bro, busy fucking passing out.
Man.
Busy circle gaming you 25 times.
They don't count if I'm already looking.
Bro, there's some debate on that, and what I like to revert back to is the simple format of something I like to call house rules.
Fuck your house rules. You'll be like, put your hand right here. You want
Remember,
to grab right here.
in the first, so Miguel's like just cranking out these push-ups on his knuckles. And remember in like the first episode, he's like, give me 50 push-ups on your knuckles, and he like can't do it.
You should be teaching karate, apparently, bro.
I know, man. It'd be a great time. Be a
Oh,
great time for it with this show.
You know dojos are exploding right now.
Strip mall dojos. But in all honesty, I don't mean disrespect. Everyone has their goal and dream, dude. Get it.
Well, that's just the thing, man. It's like
It'll work on a Street Fighter.
Oh, well, I will say this. I know a lot of above average dudes that are just like athletes, like football players and shit, that have beat the fuck out of some Taekwondo black belts in high school.
So to Gianni's credit, he does some wrist locks and judo throws and different stuff.
They're ripping off some other arts.
Yeah.
See, dude, it's like it's irrefutable that mixed martial arts is the approach in my view. It's like all these other styles can help you be better at a phase of mixed martial arts fighting, like stand up. Obviously, like okay, so we got a newer guy. I mean, he's not super new. He's had a fight. He trained somewhere else in the state. I knew his coach, but I knew that he trained where he trained and what their focus was and stuff. But then, like, just watching him for the last like couple weeks, I was like, hey, tonight I was like, have you trained Taekwondo? And he's like, yeah, I did when I was a kid. I was like, I could tell because of your kicks. And he's like, yeah, it was, a lot of stupid stuff, like, like makes this karate hand gesture or whatever. But I was like, yeah, dude, but your kicking game is different because of that, and it's dynamic. It's like, it's a good thing, is what I was telling him. And he didn't, had never thought about it that way, I guess. But definitely that's why Anderson Silva, I think, would study Taekwondo.
Yeah, it is applicable in a street fight for sure. And one of my striker friends was saying, he's a point fighter, saying last week that jiu-jitsu is, basically worthless in a real fight. You don't want to go to the ground and blah, blah, blah. I was like, dude, the essence of jiu-jitsu is judo. And now you learn a bunch of wrestling and shoot fighting and all kinds of different stuff.
I would love to meet this person.
I mean, just
send him to my gym.
UFC
Please, God,
Dude,
send
I've tried
him
to get
to my
into
gym.
Willie's. I've tried to get into Willie's.
Here's the thing about that is like, if we like, because of the conversation we alluded to earlier, grappling is the most intelligent phase of fighting.
And most street fights end up
Well,
wrangling up.
like, take all that out. if I grapple you and exchange with you in a grappling situation, it's harder for you to hit me and cause brain damage. If we're grappling on the feet, it's hard for you to hit me in the brain. If I clinch up and close distance, clinch up with you. If we're like, so John Donaher gave this analogy that, like, the javelin is the most dynamic game in the Olympics. Like he's talking about that, and he's like, you know, you can hurl this javelin 100 yards or something. I don't know how long you can hurl a javelin, but like really far. But he's like, if you ask that same athlete to hurl the javelin from both knees, no, it's not going to even go a fraction as far, right? And then it's like, so basically, when you get down on the ground, I mean, yeah, you can punch, but like, I'm here to tell you that like ground and pound is totally different. Mm-hmm. And you take a striker.
Squeezing your thighs too.
What's that?
You're squeezing your thighs too.
On what?
Sorry,
on
not
what?
to cut you off. When you're striking on the ground.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great point.
Torque.
Yeah, it's a great point.
We've talked about kinetic change before.
Dude, I just said kinetic chain tonight to Kolby.
Word.
Sorry, I told him your real name.
It's all right, bro.
It's all right, bro.
You can edit it.
Yeah.
You edited out me saying the N-word over Cobra Kai. No, I'm just kidding. You didn't.
I left it in there.
You offered to.
Yeah, I know. I did have to edit out this dude saying some obscene shit one time, but
It
it's
wasn't
cool.
obscene.
Okay.
It was just references to things that probably shouldn't have been referenced to.
Yeah,
It's not like I was talking about raping children or anything.
Yeah.
But exactly, dude. It's not that serious.
Well, yeah. Where were we? The ice wall? Flat Earth?
Kinetic chains.
Oh,
Yeah,
kinetic
exactly.
chains, yes.
We were talking.
Dinosaurs for kids.
Dude, I'm going to shout out real quick. Jack, your podcast on this thing, you inspired me to be a better guest, bro. Because you were like, we have like a bunch of open topics right now. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm working on that.
Jack Toffer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. I hope he listens to this because he's like, he thought he like back and forth on whether it's good or not. Like he's like, oh man, I sounded stupid, and I'm like, dude, you're one of the smartest people I know, bro. Like, get over it. He's always talking about like me inspiring him. I'm like, shit, dude. I mean, like that dude is like. It's funny. Isn't that funny how, like, that dude is, like, living a life that is so awesome to me or us or whatever, and he feels the same way about the life that I'm living. Yeah. Isn't it crazy, like, you think about that?
Feels like that. Everything's greener on the other side.
Well, it's not. It's just like, but that's, it's interesting that that's, like, the people you become friends with, too, in a way, you know? It's like people you empathize with, people you like identify with. But yeah, dude, I'm trying to go see Jack. I've been looking at some travel plans and stuff. I'm trying to go see him in June.
Is that down south or out west, man? You guys going to Brazil or
Southern California?
SoCal.
Yeah, dude. I would love to go out there and train with. See, that's boxing.
Yeah, they are working boxing. Okay, so something that you don't see them ever work on is angles. But during the fight sequences, he totally does something that is certainly movement-based.
I will say I thought the fight choreography was better in the original movie than in this show.
Well, they probably played a lot safer now.
Well, they had the same fight choreographer for, I think, all three Karate Kids, if I heard on the YouTube channel videos that were cycling through as I turned my TV on, as I was mentioning earlier. But that same fight choreographer also choreographed the moves for, like, Mortal Kombat. Remember?
First or second one?
Probably both.
My friends were super disappointed over the first one, but they were all Mortal Kombat fans more than Street Fighter fans, and I was definitely a Street Fighter kid.
The first one.
Goro.
The second one, too.
Crazy forearm, dude. Did he have forearms or six?
Maybe it wasn't more.
Johnny Cage punches him in the dick, dude, and kicks him off
Dude,
the cliff.
I mean, Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? Go.
Street Fighter.
Bro, don't hesitate. Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
But Street Fighter 2, not all the turbo bullshit. You said Mortal Kombat? Yeah. Okay.
Son, dude.
I'm going to say Mortal Kombat, bro. Because Sub-Zero, dude. He could freeze up here. Oh, dude, Liu Kang and that. Wow. Yeah, dude.
I just
Bicycle
didn't
Kid.
like Sega. I preferred Super Nintendo controls. It felt clunky.
Dude,
Are we talking about movie or video game? Because if we're talking about video game,
games.
I might go Street Fighter.
But
Maybe.
not all the turbo weirdness.
Dude, I love the dude that could stretch.
Dalsim.
Yes. Oh, man. Yeah, Street Fighter video game's so good. Why should we have to choose between the two? Both
They're
are
really
fucking
good.
awesome.
They are.
All right.
Like,
Oh, here's this fucking funny ass sexist scene where the first girl comes into Cobra Kai. And it's like there are no girls in Cobra Kai.
Girls have weak, brittle bones.
Yeah.
That's why there's no girls in the army.
Yeah.
But he's immediately called out on it, and he does admit in private that he knows he's just messing around. You know, Johnny ain't a clown, bro.
Strike first. Strike hard. No mercy. I've been like, dude, just around the gym, I've been like, there is no fear in this dojo.
you need to put that on the fucking door, dude.
Oh, man.
Well, fear, though, when you think about it, 100% is the opposite of light, bro. Anxiety, anything that's internal and self-created, self-focused.
Popping the old elbows.
Yeah, but I understand fear. I mean, Barada's, those guys are serious, bro. And, you know, I've been scared lots of times before that, too. But
I wonder if your guy that was saying that about grappling has ever been on the ground and had someone put him in full mount in the gift wrap position with their chest down and suffocate him. I covered this dude's mouth and choked him earlier like this with a rape choke hand. Okay, I'm just going to say we've said the word rape way too many times.
yeah. Well, man,
You know, I hate calling it the rape choke, too.
That's what it's. I mean, that's
But
like
what else you gonna call it? That's what they call it at the rules meeting when we have fights and stuff.
it's an open, like, it's called a closed hand choke, but it engages all four fingers and your thumb.
See, I will say, like,
In a
I've been
blunt
having
choke
people.
around.
They are smoking weed on this show right now.
Yeah. So they're smoking weed. Robbie's mom is a pretty not good
She's an
person.
alcoholic.
Yeah, and promiscuous, obviously, in front of him.
Yeah, she does that later. Brings a dude home. My son's sleeping. Be quiet.
There's a couple really cool montages. One is the sequence with Robbie and his mom, and then the other is a throwback that you see where people have gone through some pretty rough things with their parents. It's pretty true to life.
Why
But-
wouldn't
oh.
you just fucking drive off?
Dude, this crackhead there is one of the best crackheads that you will see on film. Like one of the people who controls an actual strip mall and is the only one to hustle there and straight trolls, and she offers to show.
Eats Johnny's pizza in the first episode.
Yeah.
That was funny, dude. We thought you were a poor person.
Yeah. So yeah.
Daniel LaRusso's daughter. So, like, dude, I will say, man, they really thicken this shit up with some good teenage drama. You know what I'm saying? Like, some, like, oh, he's dating her, but there's also this other, like, background guy. Like,
TV style, bro.
There is a lot of setup for future episodes are blatantly coming right now.
dude, there's already, I saw pop up in my feed. I mean, everybody's already buzzing about the second season. Like, what's going to happen?
How many? Can you see how many views this has? Like how many millions?
Dude, I don't know. For whatever reason, when I look on YouTube Red, it doesn't tell me the number of views for this particular. But, oh, dude, I guarantee you it's got to be in the millions. I mean, I would think.
I'll Google it.
Hundreds of billions. You guys ever seen that anti-weed propaganda commercial? It's like, how many people do you think have died from smoking marijuana cigarettes? And he's like, why, I'd have to say hundreds of billions. show her men are equal and give her everything you got.
Yep. And so,
See, this would be something like that dude that doesn't spar but wants to talk to me about brain damage would say. But I wonder when you wrap someone that has never grappled in a wet blanket on the ground and suffocate them and they really experience panic for the first time.
yeah, I've been on the edge of death plenty of times and been shown mercy by plenty of people and shown mercy to plenty of people. For
Dude,
sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you can get panicked in a stand-up contest. For sure. Like, you can become overwhelmed, you can get anxiety, you can hold your breath. The old dog in there. I'm going to go check and see what's going on with that. I'm going to pause this.
So this Forza logo is seen on John's entrance to like basically having a dojo, bro. As the show progresses, he builds up a clientele, and ended up basically like one of the insults that you see out of him is the Forza logo on this kid's shirt, and it's actually really cool. It's this weird 3D design. It looks like a Ninja Turtle shirt, but it has a Forza red on green, and he says, "Nice shirt." The kid's like, "Thanks." It's like, "Just kidding. It sucks."
Yeah, dude, I remember that. I remember totally what hold on a second, I'm gonna see what.
Yeah, I get it, dude. Yeah, bro, it's the number of coincidences that you see in this is insane. It's true to life, man. Like, actually, this is the scene right now where Robbie's mom is bringing home some dude, bro.
Is she prostitute style?
You know, actually, apparently she gives head for dessert. If you,
Okay.
yeah, man. You
Oh
got
yeah,
it.
I remember that part.
Bah. So yes, that putting on headphones is another part of the retro that you see, the retrospective from earlier. Just kind of put on your headphones to whatever and get away. But Gianni was listening to Journey, bro. You know, when all that stuff was going on. And this dude's listening to straight thrash metal, straight punk, dude. It's not the same. There's a magazine that's been jerked off on in this thing. And he said, let's say, well loved. Man, what else does Johnny do and say that's crazy, bro?
I know gold's been going up.
So, Daniel does some shady stuff, dude. He actually hits up some people that has like serious life consequences on people and strangers. And something you can say about his wife is that she is a constant throughout the story who is stabilizing. Like, she's the voice of reason, but she's colorful, and she calls him on his shit and definitely gets like in your face with some like mom logic shit, exactly what you would want. There's a scene where it's ain't that a kick in the head, and Daniel wakes up with his perfect life, and he's driving to work, and it's pretty much like he sees the billboard from his competition, you know, and then he sees his own billboard, and it's been like trashed, defaced,
With a dick on it.
with a dick on it. That's how adult they get. And they're definitely like, ha, said, I got a dick in my mouth. Like Daniel LaRusso says that, bro. So it's a different world than where you coming from. For sure. So, yeah, have you ever seen the video talking about how Daniel was definitely the antagonist?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
The bad
they
guy.
carry on that montage for sure. Props to that video. If you haven't seen it, put this thing on pause and check that shit out, dude, because it's definitely funny as hell and true to life. We're talking about that video where Daniel is the antagonist. In the first movie, how Daniel was the
the video breakdown about like where
how he's a Hitler, bro.
it all basically is the premise of this entire show, that it's from Johnny's point of view. I had to take my dog out. Now I'm back. Yeah, dude, Daniel, what a dick. Getting everybody's rent in the center raised just so he can jack with this guy. All because it's this one rich dude who owns the center that he goes to the country club with, peed in the shower. You guys seen that show, Zack Morris is Trash?
That's what I was talking about with the consequences, widespread ramifications. But Zack Morris is trash, dude. I could see it for sure. He was.
They go like season by season,
Ego.
and they're like that time that Zack Morris was racist towards Native Americans. Oh, dude, Funny or Die does this. Like it's like multiple seasons of it. It's called Zack Morris is Trash. You guys need to check it out.
Dang.
Yeah, it's great.
I want to see it because I mean he's just always a douchebag.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. It's like one like. Where like it goes into bullying and like sexual harassment and racism and all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah, wild teenage endeavors.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, dude, when you're a teenager, it's just like your brain is not fully developed. Like, you're making out with your girlfriend, and it's like, dude, and then she says no, and then it's like, you should not do anything else. And like as an adult, you look at that and you're like, yeah, but like I'm just here to say, like back then, you're like, you're gonna try like 3 or 4 more times. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how. Like I mean, that's just how I felt like it was. But yeah, but like looking back on it, it's just like, oh, that's
Johnny
what they're
pushes that big time. Strike first when it comes to chicks.
Yeah, more offense.
Yeah.
The best way is more offense.
Yeah. Something you should know is that we broke the billboard barrier, bro.
Oh, you guys talking about the billboard with
Just for a moment.
the dick? Dick in the mouth. Yeah, I thought I heard you say dick in the mouth when I was out and waiting on the dog.
Mouth.
Dude, okay, so I didn't notice this when we lived here last year, but we didn't move in until July. But I've been seeing fireflies outside.
Oh yeah, shit tons of them, bro.
Yeah, dude, and like at first I saw one the other night. It was dark outside like it is now, and I saw like a light flashing in like in the grass, and I thought that I was being filmed by the NSA or something, but it was just firefly.
You're being recorded by them right now.
Yeah,
You're fucking Alexis.
I am the recorder.
Yeah.
We were chatting earlier, Cora and I, and it's like, I can't help you with that.
Oh yeah.
It's always listening. They've helped figure out murder cases.
Yeah. Well, with I think what is it? Amazon's not Amazon's version, but Kindle Fire. No. There's another version of. It's not the Alexa and Amazon. There's another one out there. I can't remember. Fire Stick.
Not Fire Stick. I mean, they might make one that's interactive like that, but I don't know.
There's a case actually in Arkansas, and Chris Hausnick was talking about it. Oh, hell yeah, we about to have a fight scene up in here. Won't you stop being such an asshole, Kolby? I like this bitch's hair back here. Look at her with their hair. It's like blonde on top.
Cobra Kai.
Oh, look, man, he got it in on him right there. Nice little double leg.
Why is he just throwing him around?
What is the Asian kid who does not like Sushi's name?
Kai. And yeah, he is definitely actually a decent fighter when he chooses to be the aggressor.
So Miguel is beating the shit out of all of Kai's entourage for them making fun of Daniel LaRusso's daughter, who she refused to.
There was a rumor spread, and she stood up to the bully who spread it.
And then he made a joke about her dad's billboard.
But anyways, it goes viral,
Where are
and
the
that's how
teachers at?
Johnny.
That's probably the. Oh, they're coming.
Where
That's
are-
probably the coolest fight sequence in the whole show.
Most definitely, and Miguel shows all kinds of stuff that was not taught in that thing at all. Bro.
But if you look back, like that fight sequence is really close to when Johnny beat up the thugs in the first episode. Kai's entourage yet again. They getting the shit beat out of them by the Cobra Kai's, man.
No.
Hey, have you guys seen that show on Netflix, Wild Wild Country? I watched it like right after it came out, but like I didn't really pay attention to the fifth and sixth episode till I rewatched it today. Fucking crazy. It's about the Bhagwan, Rashnish Param.
Tell me, bro.
Oh, bro, it's about this. I mean, for lack of a better way of describing it, this cult that came over to Oregon from India and set up a commune that became, and they were trying to like basically just like pull, like become a state or something. It was wild. But this like super enlightened, like Dalai Lama type guy, called the Bhagwan.
Definitely sounds like a Star Wars type of thing.
1980s movement, man. It was crazy. Look into it. Netflix Wild Wild Country.
Bro, there was a lot, like, you know.
I consider doing a podcast on it, but like what I'm trying to save that for is I want to do, after I get the history podcast up and rolling, I want to do a series of podcasts over like minority religions.
Like what? What's a minority religion? Like what Native Americans practice? What is a minority religion?
Let's just say something that at one point was more of like a cult type following that transitioned into what is known as a sect, which is after your first leader passes away and it goes on. So like, for example, if you took Mormonism, that goes from Joseph Smith to Brigham Young. So Joseph Smith dies and it passes on to Brigham Young. Brigham Young becomes the new leader and it grows extensively under his leadership. He actually, I want to say, ran for president of the United States multiple times, if I'm not mistaken.
Dave Miscavige, bro.
Yeah, Scientology, Jesus Christ Church of Latter-day Saints. You could just say, well, I mean, not even just minority religions. Like, it's fascinating to me how Protestant
thought, even cult of personality.
It's cool that Kolby loves that song, dude.
No, I don't.
Oh, he's at Miyagi's grave, dude.
That's super sad, bro.
Yeah, because you're being an asshole, Daniel. Ain't nobody there to put you on the track.
Dog.
Pat Morita's been training Hillary Swank instead of you.
I've never seen the fourth one.
Yeah, you weren't missing out, bro.
Like, it's not the one with Will
There's
Smith's
like,
son in it?
no, we don't talk
That's
about
a
that one.
remake.
We don't
It's
talk
first,
about
right?
that one.
It was a remake, though, right?
I thought the girl came before the Jaden Smith one. That
It did, yeah, definitely. So there's technically 5.
It's like the Tokyo Drift.
There's 3 with Ralph Macchio. Then there's Hillary Swank after that.
And Ralph Macchio's not even in the fourth one?
No.
And that's not
But
Karate
Pat
Kid.
Morita is. Mr. Miyagi is.
Without Miyachi or Machio isn't Karate Kid or Miyagi. Those two.
Miyagi was in.
Yeah, but it's got to be both of them. Daniel's son. It's got to have both of them.
I agree. I don't, I feel the same way about Home Alone 3. Yeah, dude, the flashbacks.
Daniel's son.
Dude, I mean, how good does Ralph Macchio look for a 51-year-old man?
He was just on like one of the Comedy Central roasts here a while back. I think I want to say the roast of Rob Lowe or something.
Was he roasting him?
Yeah, pretty funny.
That's cool. Yeah, they have retros to him of kind of halfway age, like 30. And he cleans up well. Makeup did real well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, so after the fight of Miguel, Johnny shows up to the dojo and it's just packed. I'd say, yeah, isn't that kind of like a mixed message? I'm just like, So I own a martial arts school. Should I have one of my guys like go to school and beat up like 5 dudes at once, and then like teen
If they're
teen
bullying,
class
yes.
is going to be packed? You know what I'm saying?
Definitely done everything that
You just
I
gotta
can
find the
to
bully.
avoid
Miyagi-Do.
confrontation. Ever since you had martial arts in your life, it's like supposed to be a constant. You avoid the confrontational side of people's interactions. But yeah, Daniel comes back and he sees what's happened with Cobra Kai blowing up, and he cleans out Miyagi-Do.
He's going to get it. He's going to start training his own student.
Yeah, so Daniel trains alone.
Who does he end up training?
Can we say that?
Does he train his daughter?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert,
Did
he
you tell me?
trains
You told me.
Johnny's son, Robbie. Yes.
Oh,
yeah, bro.
Dickens.
Bro, season 2, I can't even. And the last
So
episode.
it fucking ends like that?
The,
You're kidding
oh,
me?
dude, the All Valley Tournament 2018.
Spoiler alert.
I don't want to go into it right now because you haven't seen it, but we'll watch it.
Yep.
Don't worry.
I might not get to it.
You should be watching the John Donahue leg lock system. That's what you should be watching.
I watched some of it.
That 21-minute video doesn't count. It's 10 hours of content.
10 hours? 10 fucking hours?
10, bro. 8 parts. You saw a 21-minute clip from one part that was just talking about one finish
That's
from the
crazy.
3 subsystems of the 6 essential skills of heel hooking.
That's crazy.
Dang. Yeah, you guys were doing some crazy positions today that you could do straight leg bars or heel hooks or a.
Do you like that?
Yeah. What was the other? It was.
So you get Texas clover
ankle
leaf
lock.
in the middle. Then on the far leg, you get a heel hook and a toe hold. And on the near leg, you get a straight ankle lock or a heel hook.
Yeah.
So you have five submission option right there.
And all you kind of keep your elbow pinched to your side, and you straighten your arm like you're kind of swimming a little bit behind the heel or all the way under the leg. And like the whole philosophy of judo that I was just reading on your book, it was minimal effort.
Maximum efficiency, minimal effort. I was telling Kolby about the principle of giving away the other day.
Daniel's copying it up. Speaking.
Yeah,
of,
this is their original Miyagi-Do karate-do or whatever, kata. Miyagi-Do karate. I will say, I fundamentally have an issue with movies like this for this reason, or shows or whatever. I'm listening to Ralph Macchio and, go home in my loving memory, 1932 to 05, Pat Morita. None of these people trained martial arts before this show. They started training for the show. And none of them, actually I want to say Gianni trained martial arts a little bit for like a few years after the first movie, but fundamentally speaking, these are not martial artists. But then you have martial artists fill in the roles, then they're not actors. So it's like this weird balance of like, how do you get a quality fight scene with these non-martial arts people? So it's like, what do you want? You want good fighting in martial arts, or you want shitty acting?
Bro, fucking watch John Wick 2.
Well, that's different.
Watch John Wick 2.
Because Keanu Reeves is training Keanu Reeves has done martial arts since before The Matrix.
Chato Brothers, bro.
Okay, he kept doing martial arts. He's been doing martial arts. This is not like Ralph Macchio did martial arts only for the first Karate Kid, and then like
Walkman.
continued on for the other movies, and then didn't train after the Karate Kid franchise was done until now.
He
So,
did.
so many 80s songs.
Yeah.
This is that scene
Casino.
you were talking about earlier.
Casino Man. Fuck that.
So he did ballet. Daniel did ballet and Broadway acting, so I'm sure he's nimble on his feet. But this is episode number 6 that I mentioned earlier, and it's called Slither. Opens with, is this Journey again?
REO
Journey or
Speedwagon?
Styx, REO Speedwagon. One of them
Styx.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, so anyways, it opens with a montage of him and on his bike with his headphones.
Motherfucking montage.
Yep. And by the end of this thing, the group that came and, you know, basically saw that viral video of his student being a badass is going to basically end up having their pecking order worked out, and he has his own dojo. So this is kind of the Gianni episode where you watch the montages back to his childhood.
Is there a female in that right there on the left inside of Cobra Kai?
Man.
Almost positive I just saw a girl in there.
It was probably a dude with like
Surfer dude.
girly hair. You gotta remember it was the 80s. Hair bands, bro.
Strike hard.
Strike like a cobra.
But Johnny has his locks. Always the golden locks.
Dude, I love how Johnny's like always drinking. Like, dude's an alcoholic for real. Like, he's always nursing a Coors, and like in one, he's like super drunk, and he like throws the bottle. He's like right before the tournament, he's like, "We're all gonna die," and like breaks the bottle, and they think he's not gonna show up to coach him, and he shows up. He's like, "What's up, guys?" Like nothing ever happened.
Super functional.
Okay, so is that a Forza logo, or
That
is that
is
the
the-
pie sign?
Oh, I thought it was basically the same thing, bro.
I
It's
mean,
not.
it's similar.
It's not swooshy with the hook, bro. My
It's
bad.
very similar.
It's calligraphy like the Japanese. You know?
Kanji.
Yeah, put a little love on it.
Bow to your sensei.
Break the wrist and step away.
Nice shirt. Just kidding. It sucks.
You got shit.
Shit.
It's rough.
Makes me feel like a virgin just looking at you. Oh my god, dude. He's the ultimate bully. What's crazy is he teaches the disenfranchised bullies to start bullying people.
Yeah, speaking of cult and what we were talking about, man, it's definitely, you know, you were talking about, that's the essence of cultism in our little second podcast, dude, our own audio only. We talked about deism and all kinds of crap. Do you know what I found out last night, bro?
What's that?
Atomism, like atomism, knowing about particulates that appear and disappear, like in particle physics, have been known by Indians and different people for long times.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I mean, that's why, like, I just kind of approach things with that, like, general understanding. It's like things have always been governed by the same laws that govern right now.
Yeah.
The laws of the universe. Natural laws.
Yeah.
Is she Facebook stalking Miguel right now?
Yeah, good call, dude. So she's not trolling, not in a bad way. I'm sorry. She's going through this dude.
She's getting cyberbullied right now,
Damn,
Snapchat
sausage
style.
in the mouth. Look at
Damn,
that, bro.
She didn't even do anything.
That's how life for kids is right now.
That is a full-on example.
I've been
of
telling
someone-
people this. I mean, just in Russellville, which is like 30,000 person town in the Mid-South. One of my kids, who's 12, told me he sees a fight every day.
That's wild.
That's crazy as fuck.
Dude, I remember just seeing like 2 fights ever at school.
Maybe.
And then that time that you fought Jake Hargraves at the lake. But, I mean, at school.
Be name dropping.
Sorry, bro. At school, I can edit that out. 103. I'm not going to. But
Marissa Merritt.
we had to edit that out, yes.
Not that we were saying anything.
We
bad,
weren't saying
just
anything
in
bad.
case
It
you
was
forget
just,
to
it could have
edit
been
this.
taken out of
Okay,
context. I'm not editing anything. That takes
So,
time. I'm a
yeah.
busy guy. I got to turn in my final grades and stuff.
Bro.
I saw a pretty solid fight from this kid named Robert Chavez to continue on that racism theme that we talked about too, bro. Like someone called him a slur for, Hispanic, and bro, he dragged this kid literally out of the cafeteria before school, and he had his way with him on these concrete benches, basically, bro. He just kind of right there in front of everyone, and one of the funny things you see in this thing is that there was no teacher intervention in that fight that we talked about earlier. Did you notice that?
Yeah. That until like it was already way too late. But yeah, dude, I just remember seeing like 2 fights ever in junior high. I don't even remember seeing any good fights in high school.
The only 2 fights I can think of happened in like 8th grade that I.
Okay, let's see if we're talking about the same fights.
Is it Stephen Jones, Nathan Yates?
Stephen Jones, Nathan Yates.
Okay, and Josh Clay and Obed. When Josh Clay whipped the fuck.
Okay. Josh Clay also is the culprit in the fight that I'm talking about, but with Stephen Jones in 7th period football, because like during the off season we would go back to the junior high.
Oh, wait, I remember Josh Clay fighting another dude behind Jim too.
This was right out into like right in front of the school, literally, and they beat the shit out of each other. Yeah, it was wild.
Dude, that's crazy. Seeing things like that raw when you're a kid, like things that, you know, these kids are cheering in this thing, dude. Definitely disenfranchised stuff.
Grab your purse,
motherfucker. What are those?
So, there is a couple of kids in this thing that are definitely like, there are serious criminal offenses.
Dude, I like how Robbie over here gets in trouble for like trafficking Molly and like what the hell?
His dad's like, who was that? Some chick he took.
I mean, Molly is like the thing now.
Yeah, that's wild. They're so up to date on stuff, right? Like the cultural, they really captured the culture, the zeitgeist.
Sounds like he's riding a horse. Yeah.
So,
Ooh.
yeah. You see an individual stand up amongst the crew. Now, most of us would say he's a pretty whiny, you know, he's not realistic. No kid should be talking back to like that, but he does. He gets his.
This dude needs to get out. I'm already just not feeling it.
The other kids were like, no, you've had enough. Like the 2 tenured kids. What made Brian say, whoa, earlier was one of the other girls, his students, his first original students, yelled at the kid, Sensei!
Sensei Lawrence.
Is he about to whip this kid's ass?
So technically, Gianni has him hit him. Same thing he did with Miguel. He made him hit something over and over until he realized.
Oh, Karate Kid 3. Sweep the leg. Remember when there's like the wooden dummy and he like Daniel like beats himself up and bloodies himself up?
It's horrible.
Yeah, dude.
I'll whip all y'all kids' asses.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you high schoolers if you fuck with me. Oh, I'm so glad Corey's not awake to make fun of my laugh.
Yo, he said, I get yelled at and get the shit kicked out of me, and I give the dude my money. Do you know who lives like that? Hookers. And he's like, no. And Miguel's like, no, you don't know him like I do. He's a no-hard guy. And his friend who got, you know, kind of handled a little rough was like, that's hooker talk too.
Oh my. Hey, you lip.
So he's just, what's he doing? Selling cars? Running numbers? What the fuck's he doing?
He is gone to work. So Johnny's.
I know he's working for LaRusso, but what? Like he's just a bitch around there, I guess.
Yes,
serving
pretty much. He does everything, just like all.
Is he working at Angle?
It's like a lot boy. Yeah. Well, he's basically trying to
piss his dad off.
Yeah.
I didn't know if maybe he's trying to steal some money or.
So there's always a hater, bro. Yeah. And hey, that little cyberbullying thing that LaRusso's daughter got earlier is the perfect example of someone who was rejected, just fully coming out and trashing someone, dude. and that's why the confrontation happened.
Dude, so you have YouTube Red all the time.
Okay, so we talked about that on the cast, and I can say as a therapist, bro, I do tone therapy. I listen to all kinds of stuff from Widespread Panic and like uplift reggae, and you know, there's like punk grunge alternative, anything you want, dude. And so YouTube Red, compared to everything else, is definitely the most functional. And you know, it's like the whole this thing is just new, but you know, YouTube and Netflix and all that stuff are changing the game. And I tried to get my family on the box like 5 years ago. You know, paying the cable bill is nonsense, bro. You're paying for nothing. Who wants cable?
Yeah, well, like I guess there's more. Like I haven't surfed around on YouTube Red as much, but I guess there's like more movies and stuff on there. Because after this went off the other day, Three Ninjas came on.
No doubt.
So great, Rocky Colton Tum. But
that and Sidekick was like one of my.
Oh
favorite
yeah,
TV
that dude
series.
committed suicide.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Barry Wary. Yeah, he
Those
was.
are like two of my, that and Surf Ninjas. Can't forget about Surf
Dude,
Ninjas.
Surf
Like,
Ninjas,
those
and I will say this:
Three
Zach from
Ninjas?
Surf Ninjas is dying of prostate cancer.
Oh, that's terrible.
I've got pictures with him and Ernie Reyes Jr. And Ernie Reyes Jr. has been on kidney dialysis the last 2 or 3 years.
Dystopia, bro. It's dystopia.
I know,
We're
dude.
building, but we are at our build moment.
We need more stem cells and stuff.
We will build
Talk to Mel Gibson.
zeitgeist.
Yeah, he knows all about it. Well, everybody should definitely watch Karate Kid, Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3, Cobra Kai. Just go back and watch them all. They're all totally badass.
Yeah. What you're going to see here is something that is not your typical, like you don't see a lot of imagery on, you know, different people, bro. It's pretty true to life. Like you see a lot of bad jokes and repetitive things in Disney. And this is kind of the opposite. This is a little more true to life. And yeah, it's cool.
Well, I think we should wrap this up. I'm going to do a little jiu-jitsu in the morning. You guys can come to morning class, I know, so we'll see you guys in 4 hours.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, signing on off, yo.